Hi, when people are getting started online, they often wonder where they should first start. And there are lots of different opinions on this, but I think that the first thing you should do is register a domain name. And I know that a lot of people will tell you that it's important to link domain names to products and all this sort of thing for SEO, search engine optimization, to make sure you're found on Google. The reality of the fact is that domain names are now not as important as they used to be 5 or 6 years ago. They can still influence search engine recognition, but for most people, getting ranked in a decent position on a search engine is not going to be a very viable concern anyway. And secondly, the same effect from a domain name can be achieved by putting in something that is, for example, if you're promoting weight loss and your domain name is johnsmith.com, you could have johnsmith.com / weight loss. And that weight loss would then be in the title of your domain, and from my personal experience I found it no different ranking it that way than if you had weightloss.com, which would be impossible to buy nowadays. You could also do it a different way and have it as a subdomain where you would have weightloss.johnsmith.com. The difference between having it either as a folder in the first example I quoted or as a subdomain in the second I quoted is that if it's used as a subdomain, Google will treat it as a totally independent domain. The search engines in general will. So the fact that it's johnsmith.com, you won't get any benefits from any previous rankings as johnsmith.com. If, however, you have johnsmith.com / weight loss, and johnsmith.com is a high reputation website because you've been doing lots of blogging and people are visiting it, you will get a bit of juice from the fact that that it's a subfolder in johnsmith.com. So my suggestion is that you get a domain name that is generic, that you can promote anything you want on, and I suggest that you do it with something as simple as your name. And most of my name combinations have gone, but I'm going to try and just enter one. I know that Graham Frame and Graham E Frame and GE Frame are all taken. I've got some of them. Some of them amazingly are taken by other people. So if you're John Smith, you're definitely not going to get John Smith. But if I put in, people know me as Frame, so let's see if that's available. So I like Namecheap. GoDaddy is another very good one, but I like Namecheap. I find it easier to use, and it's about the same pricing as GoDaddy, and for me, I just like it. There are lots of others. I mean, whichever one you choose is fine. Lots of registrars, but for registering domains, go to a domain registry place. Don't go to a hosting company that sells registration as well, because you don't get as many bits in your back office. There's not as many things you can do with your domain name. Similarly, don't take your hosting from a domain registration place. They'll offer you free hosting, but the hosting packages are not very good. So you want to buy hosting from somebody that is good at hosting, and your domain registration from somebody who's good at domain registrations. And Namecheap is good at domain registrations. It's my recommendation. So let's just do a search for that. If we click search there, and we'll see what it brings up. And it's searching. It says my computer's a little bit slow at the moment because it's got a lot of things going on in the background, and you add that to the fact that my internet connection isn't the best here, From frame is taken. I could have from frame.net or fromframe.org. And there are other suggestions here: from support, from structure, from framework, from skeleton. So, but I don't want any of those, so I'll try Frammy. Some people call me Frammy. So I'll try Frammy Frame and see what that brings up. It needs winding up, I think. It's running on clockwork at the moment. I see it's come up with other suggestions here, but it's not shown me the actual. There we go. That is available. So I could buy Frammy Frame, which I'll have a think about. But maybe Frammy is a bit shorter and a bit once again it's come up with a few suggestions at the side here. Punta Frammy, Poissy. It's coming up with all Italian sort of stuff here. I wonder why. Maybe whoever's got Frammy registered, if it's already registered, is Italian. No, it's available, and for the princely sum of $10.69 a year, I can have it. So I'm going to buy that anyway, because I'm going to use it to show you how I set things up, and I'll always use it for something. I've got hundreds of domains, so I'm going to add that to the cart. Now another thing the search engines like is something that's been around for a while, or that has a few years. So if you can afford it, I would recommend that you buy for 3 years. And it says there's 2 items in the cart there, but you'll see what they are. It's put in this free Whois guard in, which it'll ask you if you want at the end of a year. I don't use them personally, so you could remove it, or you could take it for the year and use it and see if you like it or whatever. Coupon codes are interesting. You could always do a search for Namecheap coupons on the internet and see. If you've been here before, you can do an express checkout, although I don't think I'm logged in. But just a case of checking out and paying for it. And Namecheap, I think you can pay either by credit card or PayPal. It's not logged me. I'm not logged in, so I'll log in and make the purchase, and once I've got my domain, I'll show you what we do next. So that'll be in part 2, where I'll actually link the domain to some hosting.